C4 on the ground.
Hey, what's up guys? Walrus here, and today I've got a little bit of Aftermath gameplay on Epicenter. Now, the subject of today's video is going to be spawn camping. Basically, is it okay? Its history, why it happens, and especially on Epicenter, how it kind of forces you to play in a different way than, let's say, other maps. Okay, so first of all, I think spawn trapping is a part of the game. I think it will always exist in Battlefield. It exists in other shooters as well. You can't say it's just a Battlefield problem. It's everywhere. And because of this, you just have to get accustomed to it. You know, I expect in half of the Metro games, I join this pub, I'm either going to be spawn trapped or I'm going to be spawn trapping. To be honest, half the time I do spawn trap, I switch to the other team, usually break out. It's more fun that way. I think it makes you a better player, but that's beside the point. It's going to happen, and it's not necessarily because the other team isn't good. It's because in a pub you don't have the same communication as if, say, maybe even one or two of the players on the other teams is in a VOIP together, or maybe it's just a squad of good players. You know, you don't know what you're going up against. And so the mentality of the players you're playing against is just completely different. But, you know, that's why you have to be ready for it. Another thing about it is the way Battlefield maps are usually set up is that there's a couple key choke points in each map. In Epicenter, it's the one I'm playing here in the middle, racking up tons of M16 pro rifle kills. And once one team controls that area, it is almost impossible to take it back because they get dug in like mites. An excellent example is B on Bazaar. Sure, you can flank them from either ways, but it's a hard flag to take unless you're really pub stomping. That flag right there in the middle on Epicenter, that's an excellent example of that. B on Metro. Okay? It's just, once the other team has it, it's hard to take it, and because of their advantage in the game that they get from that middle, and your inability to take it back, and it's not necessarily just because you're bad, it could be that the other team is, like I said, just a lot better than the people on yours, or they are working together in chat. It makes it harder for that team to do anything. An excellent example of this I will refer back to is Metro. Usually in pubs, Russian team wins Metro. Now you'll notice a lot of times, and I'm of the opinion as well, American side is the better side on Metro. You know why? Because you only need one person to stay back and burn your home flag. And if you do that and everyone else rushes B flag, there you go. I really never understood the appeal of capping home base flag on Metro, on any map really, because, you know, except for, you know, some maps don't have necessarily home base flags. Like Sane, I guess you could argue does, but at the same time it doesn't because there's 4. So usually staying home to defend, you know, your home base, the one you're closest to. You know, say for Russians, D on floor flag sign. You know, that's a good idea because there's going to be perhaps some infantry players, or even if they really want to, an overzealous tank that's going to rush you. And so defending those is good. But on Metro, you know, staying back, you really only need one person. And so what happens so often in pubs is people will stay back and they'll be lured by the 200, 250 points. And what they fail to realize is they'll get more points fighting on B. They'll get the B clap. They'll get kills. They'll get a lot of kills usually. I get 5 off the bat on Metro break if I get a good push up either side stairs or back esque. A lot of times if I'm playing RU side, I like to flank down back esque, and then rage up mid stairs, and it'll give you a fair amount of kills. Especially if they're all huddled on the front wall, it's just it's a death trap really. So back to the whole thing. Aftermath, this map Epicenter. It almost always seems that U.S. side, or I can't tell if this is Russian side. I'm actually, you know, commentating over this while this is in a small panel in sunny Vegas. But you know, the side I'm on right now, it almost always seems like every Aftermath game I play on Epicenter, like whether it's a bad team on the other side or not, this team always gets spawn trapped. And what I have to attest this to, what I have to sort of give the responsibility to, is not the players, it is the map design. I think the map design on all the aftermath maps is great, but they aren't necessarily balanced. Okay, this map always ends in a spawn trap. I honestly cannot recall a game of Aftermath on Epicenter that did not result in a spawn trap. And the reason being is that I just think the other side has way too much of an advantage to have a height advantage. They can really dig down into the trenches deep faster. They get this whole side area that's wide open. They get a lot of lanes to look down and some semi-good cover. And our side doesn't really have that. Okay, they've also got this whole construction area that I'm going to be running over in a sec, and it's just it's so good. That side is so much better than the others. This is actually one map I have to give it to it that it is better on Rush, because just on Conquest it is so unbalanced. Now, this is both good and bad. I do like being spawn trapped sometimes. Sometimes it's just so bad. But on this map, I still pull an okay game. I start mucking up at the end. But that's because I'm getting overzealous. I'm trying to get a few kills before the end of the game. I shouldn't have. I should have just accepted the fact I was going to lose anyways. But I wasn't really getting any sort of help from my team, so it was to be expected, you know. So really all I'd have to say is that in endgame, in a Battlefield 4, hopefully they don't make the same mistake that they've made with these kind of maps. While this is definitely my favorite DLC by far, these are awesome, beautiful, well-rounded maps, so you can really flank well on. There's a lot of lanes to work, all that kind of stuff, range, close quarters, everything. You can get a fight which will favor your AEK over your guy's G3, and there'll be a fight where you wish you had that G3. And you know what? That makes the map balanced. It makes many weapon choices viable. And, you know, I think there is fair game for each of the 4 classes to be played here. Definitely. There's vehicles on all these maps. Even just that they're convoy trucks kind of things. That's, you know, reason enough for 1-2 engineers. 64 player, bump that up to maybe 6, 7, 8. Here, you'll see in a second me getting it killed in the corner by a C4, support guy. Shame on him. If you're playing support, you need to be in the front lines with your soldiers dropping ammo. That is the kind of support player I hate, the ones that sit back. But back to the mission, and you can have support, okay? C4 is good. As much as I hate them, you can set up some claymores and corridors. There are a lot of tight corridors, you know, those hallways that you really want to peek before you ever rush, that you'll see me do in this game. Get a couple easy kills because people aren't necessarily expecting it. It's a pub, they're expecting you to just run past the corner. Well, that's how you die. So, you know, support's viable. I think recon's viable because there are just so many alleyways. You can hide some good maps. You can get some good tugs set down that's really going to spot the other team. And there's long enough ranges to where if you're running around with an SKS, you know, you're going to do a good job. And maybe even a couple of bolt actions, actually. You know, I wouldn't say that on many other maps. But this is actually, you know, these are actually some good enough maps that you can be successful. And I've had some fun games with bolt action sniper rifles with iron sights that I absolutely had fun with. And then, of course, the most important class, I will always hold this true as far as DICE makes the game unbalanced as far as class balance go, is medics. You know, you need a lot of medics. I'm playing medic. I almost always play medic. People actually asking me to play some engineer or support in a video. I don't have a problem doing that. I love playing engineer. I love some engineer guns. To be honest, if I could use the M4A1 in assault class, I would do it in pubs. I think the gun's awesome. The carbine is just great. And I also love the ACWR. It's a complete monster at range. It's just too bad that most of the time when you're at range, you want to be assault, just because the nature of the game. But, you know, this is more of a thought video, just sharing my thoughts. Overall, I would say Aftermath is the best expansion, other than the fact that a lot of the maps can be a little imbalanced to one side, especially Epicenter. Almost always ends up in a spawn trap, which, you know, it's become good practice, but at the same time, it just is a little undesirable. So, I would really appreciate if you guys would leave a comment below on how you liked Aftermath. I have a feeling a lot of you guys are still going to feel pretty nicely about it. Here, I fail with the M16 and fail with the 44 Magnum a couple times. But it's all good. This is pretty much my only game I played today. And it actually ended up being a pretty good game. I liked it because it was good practice. You know, being spawn trapped, it teaches you a lot, and I think being spawn trapped really helps you become a better player. It's one of probably the better ways you can actually become a better player. Because when you're spawn trapping, you're just watching one lane, you're camping, you're not really doing much, and you're not really reacting. On this, gotta be on your toes at all times. Here's a bad spawn. I should never push mid. Mid is a spawn, you know, just death trap on any map. So I would really recommend you never push mid. But, you know, hope you guys enjoy the video. Give it a like, a favorite maybe. And if you have any buds that, you know, like Battlefield videos, feel free to send them a link to my channel. Really helps me when you guys subscribe. Just hit 100 subscribers, by the way. Awesome vid. An awesome achievement. So, hope you guys enjoy. I'm going to cut these last couple seconds into in-game audio. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of the video.